Imagine standing at the foot of the Great Pyramid of Giza, its giant limestone blocks towering high into the sky. The sun burns above the Egyptian desert, and each stone beneath your hand feels cold, solid, and impossibly heavy. You look up and wonder, how did ancient people, thousands of years ago, build something so massive without cranes, trucks, or electricity? The question has puzzled historians, archaeologists, and dreamers for centuries. The Egyptian pyramids, especially the Great Pyramid, remain one of humanity's greatest engineering miracles. In this story, we'll travel back over 4,000 years to uncover how these ancient builders achieved the impossible, how they quarried, moved, lifted, and placed millions of stones with perfect precision. The scale of the challenge. To understand the mystery, we first have to understand the challenge. The Great Pyramid of Giza, built for Pharaoh Khufu around 2630 BCE, was the tallest structure in the world for nearly 4,000 years. It stood an incredible 481 feet high and covered over 13 acres of land. More than 2.3 million limestone and granite blocks were used in its construction, each weighing between 2 and 80 tons, the weight of an entire truck. Now imagine trying to move even one of those stones without modern tools. Yet the ancient Egyptians didn't just move them. They placed each one so perfectly that the joints between blocks are thinner than a credit card. Their accuracy was so great that modern engineers still struggle to replicate it. Standing before such perfection, one can't help but wonder, how did they do it? A master planned before the stones. Building a pyramid wasn't a quick or random act. It was a project that demanded decades of planning. Archaeologists believe that long before the first stone was set, Egyptian engineers created detailed blueprints, either drawn on papyrus scrolls or marked carefully on the ground. The precision of their work shows their deep understanding of geometry and measurement. They began by leveling the pyramid's base so perfectly that it varies by only a few centimeters across more than 230 meters. To achieve such accuracy, they likely used tools such as plumb bobs, leveling instruments, and wooden sighting rods. Some researchers suggest they even filled trenches with water to act as a natural level. A simple but brilliant idea. This careful preparation meant that every layer of the pyramid would be perfectly aligned. They even oriented the pyramid almost exactly to the four cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. How could they achieve such astronomical accuracy? The answer lies in their observation of the night sky. The Egyptians used stars, particularly the North Star, as a guide. Their blend of science, faith, and discipline was the true foundation of these monumental works. Gathering the materials. The next challenge was sourcing the raw materials. The pyramids required millions of limestone blocks and hundreds of granite stones. Most of the limestone came from local quarries near Giza itself. However, the granite blocks used for the inner chambers were brought from Aswan, over 500 miles away. Just imagine the effort involved. Workers had to quarry, shape, transport, and position each massive block using nothing more than copper tools, rope, and human power. Yet they succeeded with incredible consistency and speed, completing Khufu's pyramid in about 20 years. At the quarries, workers used simple tools like copper chisels, wooden mallets, and stone hammers. To cut limestone, they drove wooden wedges into natural cracks in the rock, soaked the wood with water, and waited. As the wood expanded, the rock split apart. For harder granite, workers used dolerite stones, an extremely tough material, to pound and chip away at the surface. Archaeologists have found evidence of these methods in quarries across Egypt, including tool marks, dolerite pounding stones, and unfinished blocks left behind. These discoveries give us a clear picture of just how much labor and skill went into every stage of pyramid building. Once cut, the next problem was moving the stones, some weighing up to 80 tons. The ancient Egyptians used sledges, large wooden frames that held the stone blocks. Workers pulled these sledges across the desert, pouring water on the sand in front of them. This simple act, proven by modern experiments, made the sand firmer and cut friction in half, allowing stones to glide forward more easily. For the granite blocks from Aswan, workers loaded them onto barges and floated them down the Nile River. Archaeological discoveries near Giza show remains of docks and canals that connected the river directly to the construction site. This ingenious use of Egypt's natural landscape shows how clever their logistics truly were. The Nile was more than just a river. It was a lifeline that carried not only stones, but also food, workers, and supplies. Each flood season, the rising waters turned the desert into a highway of movement. The workforce. For a long time, many believed that the pyramids were built by slaves under cruel conditions. But modern archaeology has rewritten that story. Excavations near Giza have uncovered workers' villages, complete with bakeries, breweries, and even hospitals, that tell a very different tale. These weren't slaves, but skilled laborers, craftsmen, farmers, and builders who worked in rotating teams. Estimates suggest that around 20,000 to 30,000 workers built the Great Pyramid, not the hundreds of thousands once imagined. The workers were well fed and cared for. Their diet included bread, fish, vegetables, and plenty of beer, which was a staple food in ancient Egypt. Archaeologists even found medical facilities where injured workers received treatment for broken bones and infections. This shows a level of organization and compassion unexpected for such an ancient project. Many of the laborers were seasonal workers, farmers who joined the pyramid crews during the months when the Nile flooded their fields. This system benefited everyone. The farmers earned food and prestige, and the pharaoh gained a motivated workforce. Organization was the heart of pyramid building. Workers were divided into large crews of about 2,000 people, which were further split into smaller teams known as philes. Each phyle had its own identity, often with names like Friends of Khufu or Drunkards of Menkaure. These nicknames reveal camaraderie and pride in their work. Each team handled a specific task. Some quarried stones, others transported them, and others set them in place. Supervisors and architects oversaw the work, ensuring that every piece fit perfectly into the larger plan. This was teamwork on a scale the world had never seen before. Building the pyramid, now came the hardest and most breathtaking part, stacking millions of massive stones into the perfect shape of a pyramid. Imagine trying to lift and fit blocks that each weighed as much as a car, without cranes, steel, or any modern machinery. How did they do it? This mystery has sparked endless debates, but most experts believe ramps were the key. First, the builders cleared and leveled the desert ground, preparing a flawless base. They then aligned the pyramid with the four directions of the compass, using stars and the sun's shadow as their ancient guides. Once the base was ready, workers began laying the first giant stones, enormous blocks forming a solid foundation that would hold the weight of everything above. As the pyramid grew taller, so did the challenge of lifting stones higher. The leading theory suggests that the Egyptians built huge ramps made from mud brick, limestone chippings, and clay. These ramps might have run straight up one side of the pyramid or wrapped around it in a spiral. Straight ramps would have been easier to build, but required enormous amounts of material, while zigzag or spiral ramps saved space but demanded brilliant engineering. A modern French architect, Jean-Pierre Houdin, even proposed that the ramps were built inside the pyramid, hidden within its structure. Recent findings at the Hatnub quarries revealed ancient ramps with wooden posts and rope systems, proving that Egyptians knew how to use leverage and balance to pull heavy stones uphill. When each stone reached its place, workers used wooden levers to slide it perfectly into position. The precision they achieved without lasers or cranes still amazes modern engineers. After years of tireless labor, the final moment came: the placing of the capstone, often covered in shining limestone or gold. When sunlight hit it, the entire pyramid glowed like a beacon, symbolizing eternity and the pharaoh's divine connection to the heavens. Tools and ingenuity. The Egyptians didn't have iron or steel, but their copper chisels, dolerite hammers, and wooden sledges were enough to achieve the impossible. They also made strong ropes from papyrus and palm fibers. Archaeological finds show that they even used early pulley systems at quarries, an incredible innovation for their time. They understood physics long before it was formally studied. They knew how to reduce friction, use leverage, and balance weight. Their tools may have been simple, but their minds were extraordinary. Belief. The pyramids were more than architectural projects. They were spiritual missions. The Egyptians believed that the pharaoh was a living god, and the pyramid was his gateway to the afterlife. Its shape symbolized the rays of the sun reaching down to earth. To the workers, building the pyramid wasn't just a job. It was a sacred duty. Every stone they placed was an offering to the gods and a step toward ensuring the pharaoh's eternal life. This shared purpose united thousands of people in one grand vision. Festivals, songs, and rituals likely filled the air around the building site, turning labor into worship. Challenges and triumphs. Of course, not everything went smoothly. Workers faced the brutal desert heat, accidents, and injuries. Ramps sometimes collapsed or had to be redesigned. Yet the Egyptians never gave up. They adapted, improved, and learned from their mistakes. One famous example is the bent pyramid at Dashur. Its sides change angle halfway up, proof that builders realized their initial slope was too steep and corrected it mid-construction. Instead of failure, this stands as a monument to problem-solving and perseverance. Their resilience turned challenges into innovation, showing that the human spirit can achieve wonders when guided by purpose. Modern discoveries and scientific insights. Even today, new discoveries keep rewriting what we know. In 2013, archaeologists found a papyrus journal written by an overseer named Mirror near the Red Sea. It described how limestone blocks were transported from quarries to Giza using boats and canals, a first-hand record of pyramid construction. In recent years, the ScanPyramids project has used advanced imaging technologies like Muon tomography to look inside the Great Pyramid. They discovered hidden chambers in mysterious voids, possibly ancient storage or construction tunnels. Each discovery adds another piece to the puzzle, and yet the full story remains partly hidden, just like the secrets within the stones themselves. The legacy that still inspires. The pyramids are not just ancient monuments, they are symbols of human creativity and determination. More than 4,000 years later, they still stand strong, defying time, wind, and earthquakes. They remind us that great things are possible with unity, vision, and persistence. Engineers still study them for insights into stability and design. Tourists from around the world stand in awe before their majesty, and each new generation continues to ask the same question: how did they do it? In conclusion, how were the Egyptian pyramids really built? The answer lies in a combination of brilliant planning, simple tools, smart use of nature, and thousands of determined workers united by faith. They use ramps, water, ropes, and teamwork to move mountains, literally. Their story isn't just about stones, it's about human strength, creativity, and belief. Even today, the pyramids stand as a challenge to our imagination, whispering across time that anything is possible when people dream big and work together. The mystery may never be completely solved, but perhaps that's what makes it so beautiful. The pyramids continue to remind us that the line between the possible and the impossible is drawn only by those brave enough to test it. If you enjoyed these insights, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, share your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned for more valuable content. Thank you for your support.